Sometimes blessings come disguised as lessons, and sometimes the people you'd give your life for are the first to cut you out of theirs. My name is Auntie Rose, and this is the story of the day my daughter became a millionaire and decided I no longer belonged in her life. It was a Sunday morning, quiet and warm. I was making my usual cup of tea, humming the same old tune I always do when my phone buzzed. It was Emily, my only daughter. Her voice was trembling, half joy, half disbelief. "Mom, I won! I actually won!" I laughed, thinking she was joking. But she wasn't. She had just won $33 million in a lottery she barely remembered buying a ticket for. I froze. For a moment, I didn't know what to say. My baby girl, who'd struggled through college, worked 2 jobs, and lived in a tiny apartment, had just become a millionaire overnight. I cried, not because of the money, but because finally, I thought, life was being kind to her. For the next few days, reporters were calling, friends were showing up out of nowhere, and Emily's world turned into flashing lights and interviews. She said, "Mom, I want you to move in with me. I'm getting a new house, a mansion. We'll never worry again." I hugged her, tears in my eyes. I had raised her alone after her father passed. Every bruise, every hungry night, every time I'd sold my jewelry to pay for her school, it felt worth it. But money, my dear, has a strange way of revealing people's hearts. It started small. She began dressing differently, talking differently. Her laughter became sharper, her words colder. She said things like, "You wouldn't understand. Mom, it's a rich people thing." She hired assistants, drivers, and a man named Daniel, a financial advisor who looked at me like I was something stuck to his shoe. One afternoon, as I was watering the plants near the pool, I overheard Emily talking to him. Her voice was low, uneasy. "Daniel, do you think I'm doing enough? People say I should distance myself from, people who might slow me down." He didn't even hesitate. "Yes, Miss Emily, you need to focus on your new circle." That evening, I tried to talk to her. "Sweetheart," I said gently, "don't let money build walls around you." She sighed. "Mom, please, I'm not a child. I just need space." A few days later, I woke up to find my belongings packed neatly in boxes at the door. I thought maybe we were moving again, but when I looked at her, my heart broke. She couldn't meet my eyes. "Mom, I think it's best if you stay somewhere else for a while. I'll send you money, of course," I laughed, out of disbelief. "Emily, what are you saying? This is your home. Our home." She shook her head. "No, Mom, this is my home. I need to live my own life." The words cut deeper than any knife. My daughter, my flesh and blood, was throwing me out. I didn't argue. I didn't scream. I just nodded, wiped my tears, and said, "I hope your new life keeps you warm at night." I left with 2 suitcases and my dignity. That night, I sat in a small rented room, staring at the ceiling fan spinning slowly. My hands still smelled of the roses I used to plant in her garden, and I whispered, "You'll understand one day, Emily. You'll understand." 3 days later, my phone rang again. Her name flashed on the screen, and for a moment, I thought she might be calling to apologize. But her voice, it was broken. "Mom, please. I need you. Something's happened." And that's where everything changed. When I heard her trembling voice on the phone, I didn't hesitate for a second. The same daughter who had pushed me out of her mansion was now crying like a lost child. "Mom, please." I don't know what to do. I grabbed my shawl, hailed a cab, and went straight to her address. When I arrived, the gates that once seemed so grand now looked cold and lifeless. Emily was sitting on the steps, barefoot, mascara running down her cheeks. Her hair was messy, her eyes red. "He took everything, Mom," she whispered. "Daniel, he said he'd invest the money. He said I'd be even richer, but now my accounts are empty. He's gone. For a second, I didn't even move. I just looked at her, this girl I had raised, who once needed help tying her shoelaces. Now she was sitting there, her millions vanished, her pride shattered. I sat beside her and took her hand. It was trembling. "Shh, it's all right, sweetheart," I said softly. "Money comes and goes, but you're alive. That's what matters." She buried her face in my lap, sobbing. "I was so stupid, Mom. I thought I didn't need anyone. I thought you were old-fashioned, holding me back. I wanted to prove I could handle it all." I stroked her hair gently. "You don't need to prove anything to me, Emily. I just wanted you to be happy. But happiness isn't in money, baby. It's in people. It's in love, trust, and the ones who never leave, no matter what's in the bank." Hours passed. We sat there under the soft hum of the night, the silence broken only by her quiet apologies. The house, once full of noise and laughter, felt empty. Even the chandelier above us seemed dimmer. In the following days, we worked together to pick up the pieces. I helped her talk to the police, file the reports, and face the news cameras. The world that once worshipped her wealth now pitied her downfall. But I stayed. Not because she was rich or poor, but because she was my daughter. One evening, as we sat by the window drinking tea, she said quietly, "Mom, I finally understand what you meant about money building walls." I smiled sadly. "And now?" She looked at me, eyes softer than I'd seen in years. "Now I just want to build a home, one without walls." Time passed. The scandal faded, but our bond grew stronger. Emily sold the mansion, moved into a small house near mine, and started volunteering at a local shelter. The girl who once measured life in dollars now measured it in kindness. One day, she came home with a small envelope. "Mom, I saved this for you," she said, handing me a photo of us from years ago, her 8th birthday. Frosting on her nose, my arm around her shoulders. "This," she whispered, "is what real wealth looks like." I couldn't hold back my tears. I hugged her tightly, and for the first time in years, we both cried. Not from pain, but from peace. You see, my darlings, love doesn't come with a price tag. Money can fill your hands, but only love fills your heart. So if you ever find yourself choosing between pride and people, remember this story. Choose the ones who'd stand by you even when everything else falls apart. Because in the end, that's what truly matters. This is Auntie Rose, thanking you for sharing a moment of your time with me. If my story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with someone who might need this reminder today. Until next time, take care and love deeply, even when it hurts.